I tell my grandparents that I'm an atom botherer. So my research uses scanning transmission electron microscopy, high energy electron beam, to investigate the structure of materials. And we do that right down at the atomic scale, so we're really able to watch atoms, see where they're positioned, and to move them with the electron beam. So the properties of materials depend really crucially on what is going on at surfaces and interfaces, right down to the positions of atoms. And the technique that we use allows us to investigate the positions of atoms and therefore to interpret their properties. So, for example, we can see what happens when you mix together molybdenum disulfide and tungsten disulfide. You can end up with substitution of molybdenum atoms for tungsten atoms and vice versa. And that can change the properties of that solution. It will change the band gap, and that is what we need to be able to do to optimize something like a solar cell. I think we really need to encourage women in science right down from primary school and before that. I think that a lot of our aspirations are fixed really right down at that very early stage, and that's a big cultural shift. I was very fortunate in that my mum was a mathematician, a scientist, and so it was perfectly normal for me to go into science and maths. But I think that we need to make that the norm for everyone. It should be equally acceptable for me to want to be a belly dancer or a bus driver or indeed an astronaut. Dealing with rejection is a really important skill for life in general, but particularly as an academic. We are applying for grants all the time, we're applying to get papers into different journals, and it's been suggested to me that if you're not getting rejected regularly, then you are not trying hard enough, you're not aiming high enough. And so your aim should actually be to be rejected from really good journals, and that hopefully will mean that you get papers into really good journals on some occasion. Lots of people have supported me in my career, both male and female. I guess around International Women's Day there are some very inspirational female scientists. Catherine Lonsdale was somebody who worked for Lawrence Bragg. She was a very famous crystallographer, and she was somebody who had her childcare paid for to go to work and work in the research lab because she was a fantastic scientist. I think an ability to mix being a great scientist and having a family, whether you're male and female, is very inspirational.